Hi, this is Digital Femme and welcome to my channel. So, in today's video, I'm going to talk about how when a person is really negative or you perceive them to be negative for whatever reason, how that may affect you in not such a good way, and how you can probably learn from it. And there's definitely a lot of learning to do there. And even how not to judge when somebody is behaving or acting or saying words that really don't resonate well with you. And if you want to hear what I have to say about that, then continue watching. Hi, I'm glad you stayed. So today I decided to talk about this topic of negativity. Just so you know, I'm generally not a negative person, but of course I have my days, and sometimes I get triggered by certain things. And over the years, I've worked on trying to understand what those triggers were so that I can identify feelings before they start to rise and start to get like halfway, 50%, half full, before it goes on to a full-blown reaction. So I have been in a relationship for a number of years, and I didn't realize that the person that I was with had a negative outlook towards things. And you know what? Maybe they didn't have a negative outlook. They say that that's just how they are. They say that they're really thinking positive, and okay, I give them that. I also know that whatever my perceptions are on them or how they see the world, that's not even for me to really comment on. The reason why I'm talking about it is because just earlier this evening, this person that I still love very much came over for a visit. And it wasn't that I invited this person. It was like, it's Tuesday, Toonie Tuesdays from Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it turns out that Toonie Tuesdays is no longer a Toonie Tuesday thing. They still call it Toonie Tuesdays, and yet the 2 pieces of chicken or whatever and fries, I don't know what I'm talking about this, it's really $4 Canadian. So, we went out, we had some Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they just continued talking about their day. And I realized that because we haven't been together for a while, the way they were speaking, their tone, the words they chose, I could easily have said they were just complaining. And that's the words I choose. And it kind of rubbed me off wrong because I always pretty much spend my day in my own studio apartment. I work from home. That's not true that I spend my day alone, because I'm usually in Zoom meetings with our marketing team, either with one or two or one throughout the day, or, it intermittently throughout the day. So I'm not alone. But just not having been around this person and then having them around again and experiencing just their presence really made me feel sad. Not really for them, just sad that, I don't know, that they just couldn't even just not have nice words to say about anything. And I get that when you're in a certain situation and there are certain stages in life, or maybe there are moments in life or a string of moments in life when things aren't working out for you, I totally understand how frustrating that is. I totally understand the discouragement, the sadness, the hurt, maybe borderline depression. I get that because I've been there. However, please, people, you have to, and we all have to take responsibility and accountability for how we are in this world. I know I do. And this is not advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't even know. It's my channel. I'm doing this 66-day challenge video. And what that is choosing to do one thing for 1 hour a day for 66 days straight. And I've chosen to do one video to jumpstart this old YouTube channel that I started back in 2008. So technically today, is my 47th video in the 1166-day challenge. And today I just chose this topic because of what happened earlier. The hardest thing for me, if I were to just live in a three-dimensional world and have these three and recognize these three-dimensional feelings, is I am sad. But I do have hope that this person can just somehow find their way into learning how to feel a certain vibration that's just not even just complaining, just being, and maybe from there, from a neutral state, I don't know how they're going to get there, but they can then work their way up the emotional ladder to feeling better. I don't know if whoever's listening out there, if you are experiencing something in life that's causing you to be very discouraged, and maybe, of course you want to express your opinion and say things, that you want to share how you're feeling and what you're going through and what's going on with your day, or what's not going on with your day, or what's not working. But the thing is, when you talk about things that are not going right, it's easy to talk about the things that aren't going right because you're experiencing them. It is your reality. However, every moment is new. Every moment is different. And if you just knew that, honestly, if you just changed a story, a not so good story, into a positive story, and believe it and keep saying it to yourself, then things will get better, because the more you think positively and you feel it, it's a process, okay? But when you get to the state of first you think it, you speak it, I don't know, whatever that the steps are, but ultimately the goal is to just feel it. And once you feel it, feel at least appreciative, grateful at the very least, then continue with that feeling. And of course, nobody can feel grateful and appreciative every moment of every day. Why? Because we are human beings and we live in a three-dimensional world, and there are things that are going to pull at us, or there are things around us that we are going to somehow end up reacting to. But the point is that being aware that we are three-dimensional beings. However, we are more than three-dimensional beings. We are vibrational beings. We are. And if you don't believe me, just think about it. When they test our heart rate, when they give us an EKG, electrocardiograph, how our heart is doing, they put electrodes, and measure the electrical activity in our heart chambers. And when they want to find out how our brain is functioning, when somebody is in a coma or whatever, and then they're not responding consciously, they have these electrodes attached to their head in certain spots, and it picks up an EEG, electroencephalograph, and that picks up brain waves. And then we have potassium, sodium, calcium in our body, and they all have different ionic charges, positive and negative. And we're electrical, or we have frequencies. So, and feelings are a frequency. Obviously, anger is not such a good frequency. It's kind of like low in the frequency range. And of course, joy or bliss is like really high. But at least if you can't feel, or you don't know how to get to a happy place, you don't have to get there like this. Because what are you? A yogi guru? No. A Tibetan monk? No. Of course not. Or else you would be. Just at the very least, stop saying or telling negative stories that don't serve you, or negative thoughts that don't serve you. Just stop repeating them to yourself, and stop repeating them to others, because you know what? All that energy of your story that's not such a happy story is impeding on their energy, and they don't need that. That's almost like vibrational or frequency abuse. So no. At the very least, stop saying things that no longer serve you, And just at the very least, be grateful that you're still here. Unless you want to kill yourself, then but if you're still here, if you just be grateful. Find the good in your life, even though it's hard. I was jobless. For heaven's sakes, I was jobless. Not just once, a number of times. And, you get laid off. A startup, didn't get funding, so they couldn't pay their employees. So that happened to me 3 times in my life, in my startup life. I love startup life. But you go through it. How? You do. You have to believe it and know it. And everybody has their journey. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound negative. Oh my God, I don't mean to be negative. But yeah, maybe I am a bit frustrated. And I'm so sorry to show this frustration. But I really wanted to just let people know that I guess I just wanted to share what happened earlier today, and that I was a bit sad and frustrated. So here I am telling people, don't share your negativity, and sadness is kind of not such a good feeling, and so is frustration. But I apologize. But the message I really wanted to put out was that, if you know people that is a bit similar to my friend, then I don't know. The only thing you can do is really just love them. Love them. But know that they've got to go through what they've got to go through. And I guess that's like a tough love thing. Like, 'cause I don't know. Other than developing a codependency or enabling behaviors that really don't serve them or serve you. It's really just all about boundaries. And maybe boundaries is the wrong word. It's maybe just really knowing what are the things that make you happy, what are the things that give you peace, and making sure that you get to curate that in your life. And if there are people in your life that are causing drama or causing you to overly compromise to the point of your peace of mind, your comfortability, and your well-being, then it's really not their fault. It's you. You made that choice to allow that, whether subconsciously or consciously. And I definitely know that had happened to me. I made a conscious or subconscious choice. It wavered to allow certain things for me to know that I'm going to compromise above and beyond what I'm normally comfortable with. And I made those choices. So I will not blame anybody for that. I take full responsibility and accountability for that. And I think I said this in my other video, in a previous video, that just knowing that I have the choice to allow or disallow, and knowing that it feels so good, because there is no blame I cannot blame anyone or anything that anything that happened in my past. There's nobody else to blame but myself. And maybe I didn't know, but I was still to blame because I didn't know. So you do really need to seek knowledge so you're not ignorant. And the knowledge that I'm talking about, it's not really like knowledge, go on the internet or go to Wikipedia or research journals or whatever. It's more gain inner knowledge, go within. And once you connect with that inner knowledge, your inner being, then it's really unexplainable. And then there's a knowing. There's a deep knowing. And I can't explain it. And how do you get there? How did I get there? It started with certain meditation practices. And I haven't really been good at meditating for a while regularly, but I do know that feeling. So instead of meditating, I don't know if I know instead of actually going through the motions of meditating, closing my eyes and standing still, or sitting still for a while, because I know that feeling, I know that what the feeling feels like when I'm in that state of being connected, then I can bring myself to that consciously and go into that space and kind of like feel that it's there. And maybe if I did close my eyes and meditate, I would get more of it. But I know that when I can connect to that, and that's important for me. That it's because of the self work that I've done, and a level of self awareness that's just for me, and that's basically solely based on my perception of me. So I don't know. Well, I'm glad you stayed. If you stay till the end, thank you for staying. Thank you for visiting my channel. And if this video resonated even a little bit with you, then consider liking it and subscribing to my channel. And you know what? I feel a lot better. So thank you for being there. Thank you, YouTube universe, for just being there. And I get to put up a video, and whoever watches or listens, just go with the flow. So with that said, everybody have a great day and a great night. Bye-bye.